This is it.
Okay.
We're live. We are live. Are we?
Are we? I'm not seeing it.
Maybe it's
Oh,
lag.
there it
Are
is. I
we?
can see it.
Okay, great.
Uh-oh, there's lag. There's two viewers. I assume that's you and me.
Okay, can people hear us?
What? What?
Can people hear us?
Yes, though.
Okay, great.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Hi, Karen. Thanks for joining.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Jigs.
Hi, Mommy Jigs and Mommy Justin. Congratulations, Armadella, Freestyle Flex winner.
Oh,
Yes,
congratulations.
congratulations.
There are just like so many people I know that are super lucky when it comes to raffles. I'm not one of
Yeah,
them.
I'm not one of them, so I'm just here to like give them away.
I know. I think I was born to give things away.
Yeah, pero yeah. Ano bang napanalunan ko na sa raffle? Parang Starbucks GC.
That's yeah. I
Yan.
won an electric fan and that was back in 20 2011,
Mm-hmm.
2012.
Electric fan?
Yeah.
Oh, that's big
And
ah.
then that's it. After that, MacBook,
I
I
love
didn't
that.
win in the previous company, never won. Christmas party last time with my hubby's friends. All of them won except for me. They won like
Okay.
rice and everything else. I didn't win
Yeah.
anything.
So I guess we're just really not born to win raffles.
We're not.
That's sad, but it's okay. Hi everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for watching us. Thanks for being here.
Want me?
We have six we have 16,000 viewers.
18,000 now.
Okay, okay. Hi to our 18,000 viewers. I'm
I'm
kidding. Okay.
I'm hoping you guys have your wine
Oo
ready.
nga. Yeah. We do. We do. Cheers, guys. Cheers, Franny, to our first
Cheers.
episode of Me Time.
Yes.
All right, welcome everyone. Thank you all for joining, ha. My name is Mommy Rachel and
And it's Marie. As you've
and,
seen obviously in our cover photo.
and welcome to Me Time. So on our first episode of Me Time, so here's what you can expect. Of course, get to know us, our history as far as breast pumps and breastfeeding. Also, what we do, how we met, and why Me Time came to life. Get to know also our groups. We have the Wearable Breast Pumps PH and Nipnoc. We also have a segment where we're going to answer a couple of questions submitted by our viewers. So thank you so much for letting us know your concerns, questions. And again, thank you all for joining us for today. So we'll start. We'll do a quick intro lang for today. My name is Mommy Rachel. So I actually have two boys. They're ages 19 and 3. So I have a 19-year-old now. It's a very huge gap. I am a boy mom. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I also do consultancy on the side as far as marketing or like website creation. And as far as breastfeeding or like breast pumps, I have my sons were both breastfed. I'm a huge advocate of breastfeeding. I love helping moms in their breastfeeding journey, or even if they exclusively pump. I have tried and tested more than 10 breast pumps, I think. And also when I was breastfeeding, I've also built my own stash. But a little also about me, I like to travel a lot. I'm a beach baby. Like Marie, I'm always in search for good coffee and good food. And also, ano pa ba? I love dogs. I'm a dog mom. I have three dogs. So there. For my firstborn, which was 19 years ago, I actually didn't pump. Ang uso pa nun is yung manual na pot-pot. But you can't really, like, parang it's hard to sanitize or wash them, 'di ba? Tas hindi pa
Yeah.
uso yung mga sterilizers nun. So so I didn't have an idea and I also didn't know how it worked. When I left the hospital, no one really told me that, oh, you have to breastfeed or you have to pump, but it was just my mom who told me to do that.
Hindi pa siya uso that time.
Hindi pa uso. They're
Kasi
actually, I
that's
don't
19
know,
years ago. Gosh.
19 years ago. Yeah. And wala pang Facebook noon. I
Yes.
think, or siguro meron na, because that was 2004.
I think wala
Um,
pa. Or is it like within Harvard? Maybe within Harvard, I don't know. But like,
maybe.
oh, not in the Philippines. What's
Yeah.
there then? Friendster?
Friendster.
The
Friendster,
age.
yes. The age reveals. But so that time wala ring mga community, wala ring mga gantong Facebook, where we can ask questions. And then bata pa ako, medyo masungit din yung OB ko at that time. Pero so and also you're still young. You don't really know what to ask, but yeah. So for my second baby, ayun, dun ako nag-start na, because of course there are a lot of options now in the market. It's also more common now to, breastfeed and to pump. So it got easier during that time.
That's great to hear. I never kind of thought of Ice being 19. In my mind, he's always like this young boy I saw in the outreach program. And then I'm stuck there in that age. So like when
Yeah.
you said he's 19, I'm like, whoa, 19 na pala siya, my gosh. And he's so
Yeah.
tall.
Yes, yes. So that's my big baby. Um, yeah, sabi ni Pao, ang pinakabongga na noon yung Avent na manual.
Oh, that's
Na
true.
mapapagod ka kakapump. Yes, ang hirap niya i-pump, so I just gave up kasi wala, only latch na lang.
Yeah, that's
How
true.
about you, Franny?
But well, before I go, I just want to say we already have 32,000 subscribers. Welcome to our podcast, 32,000 people. But I do
Yay!
want to say hello to some of the friends that we have in here. We have people watching from Sultan, Kudarate, also Cali. I don't know where this is. Kalimpit, Bulacan.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Ay,
god,
so
the dad
witty.
jokes are coming in. Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, hi, I'm Marie. I have three kids. My oldest is 14 already. And then followed by a 10-year-old, and then my youngest is 4 years old. He's turning 5 this year. I work as a senior manager for one of the EA service providers in the Philippines. We aim to be the biggest, but we'll get there. But yeah, so far I'm loving what I do. I'm a full-time career woman. I do a little bit of business on the side, like just selling stuff here and there. I don't know, does it count? Like decluttering your stuff, does that count as as a
As
business? I don't know.
it is, it is.
It is,
I
right?
also
Yeah.
love to declutter. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I do. Outside of work, well, I mainly take care of my kids outside of work. And this is one of the reasons why Rach and I teamed up for me time, because I'm the type of person who doesn't really like, outside of work and outside of being a mother, I couldn't really imagine myself doing anything else. And so, that kind of drives you crazy sometimes. But yeah, that's it. It is what it is, right? Um, for breastfeeding, I no, this is funny because in so I gave birth to my eldest in 2010, and you're right. Kasi wala pang Facebook noon. There are no support groups. I was so well, I was pretty young at that time. And I didn't have my mom passed away by that time now, so I didn't really have any guidance. I didn't have anyone telling me that this is what you should be doing. You should be breastfeeding. I did aim to breastfeed, and I would agree with Pao. It's really yung manual. So the first at that time nagsa-start na yung mga electric pumps. And so I bought I forgot what it's called, like I just bought it sa SM. And
Mm-hmm.
it was so bad. It was a really really bad experience for me. And so I didn't really continue with that journey. And so on my second, I really committed to pumping and really, trying out breastfeeding. And then same with my youngest. And that's one of the on my youngest or with my youngest, that's when I came up with what I am very very passionate about right now. Um, and that's what kind of drove me to this knowledge about breastfeeding and wanting to help other moms because of the experience that I had in the first one where I didn't really have any support. I didn't know what to
Yeah.
do. I really felt powerless as a mom,
Mm-hmm.
and so the guilt is there. So for like I don't know 10 years of motherhood during that time, no, parang it was so heavy for me. I have to keep
Mm-hmm.
doing this. I have to breastfeed. I have to provide food for my kids. So that's what started everything. Um, my hobbies, apart from readings, I love reading. In my free time, we'll talk about it more later on. But in my free time, just really read, or watch K dramas with my husband. That's our date. Finishing K drama series. But I also like I have a habit of starting like different things. So I would start friendship bracelet making, loom band making, and then jump to other hobbies. And then yung stuff ko, it's just like it's sitting there. It's just collecting dust kasi parang I switch
Mm-hmm.
hobbies every now and then. And so yeah, but the only hobby I think, I don't know if that's a
Mm-hmm.
hobby, but the only thing that I'm doing outside of work that I really stuck to is, the group and also like providing support and
Mm-hmm.
helping out other moms. So that's me.
Oh, Miss Universe.
And I thank you.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I think we can relate, right? And that's exactly why, some of I mean, our group has grown into like 16,000 members currently. So we are passionate about helping other people, as moms specifically, and I think it's what we enjoy, diba? So yeah. Thanks for sharing, Franny. But you wanna talk about how we met?
Oh yeah. So when did it was a long time ago. It felt like decades since we met, right? But we met at work. Um and we were actually from different departments at work. And people were saying you guys are never gonna get along. You guys are not gonna click, right? But look at us. We click. And the funny thing about me and Rach is that on random occasions, like today, we would sync. Like our minds would just click. So what we're wearing right now, we didn't talk about this. It's just so random, right? But we're so in sync that way. And
Yeah.
even before, right? Like we just click. We love food. We love doing, all sorts of things. We love like hanging around and just talking about random stuff. And we're also very passionate about what
Hmm.
we're doing right now in terms of breastfeeding.
We love Taylor Swift.
We love Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, ano ba yan, puro tayo? Yeah. But, but no, I remember kasi when Marie got pregnant first,
Yes.
and then after 6 months, was it ako naman?
Mm-mm. On the same
Yes,
year.
on the same year, yeah, and our babies are pandemic babies. And then I remember like it was actually Marie who taught me about breast pumps. So I was like, Shiny, paano ba to? Like, I want to buy a breast pump, but I don't know what to buy, you know? And then I remember your first recommendation was Wise Mom Pocket. 'Di ba? Sabi, ay, ito
Yes.
mura lang to and effective siya, efficient. And then I bought it and then I said, okay, sige, I'm gonna try it. And then when I saw the pump parts, I was like, ano tong flange? Ano tong, ano tong ang daming parts, 'di ba? Like, so sabi ko, ba't ang hirap? Um, and ayun, and then that's where it started. And then I also remember we were talking about, kasi pareha silang babies, we were talking about like, is it normal that I only have like this amount of output? You know, and then I remember I was so stressed out. I said, Franny, do you have milk bags? Do you have milk that you can give Titan? Kasi I feel like I'm so stressed out and I can't produce milk or it's not enough, I think. And then I asked her, so nagpa-arrange ako ng transportation to get, milk from you. And then, you know what? She gave me like a big box of milk bags. And I was like so happy. Sabi ko, it's like happiness, getting stress relief just because a mommy decided to, help me give more milk to my son. So that's amazing, right? And so ever since then, that's where we started talking more about, breast pumps. This is where all the budol started. Oh, Franny, look at this breast pump, blah blah blah, ganyan. So, that's how we met.
But
And
I would agree. That's a wise mom, right? Like there's just so many. And then I also use that same pump with when I was starting my journey with my youngest. That's why I referred it to you because I was really using it. But then I remember in the middle of that entire journey, I just said, is there something that we can do to like remove these tubes? The tubes are stressing me out. It like seriously. And I was thinking, there has to be something. There has to be something we could do because I can't like I don't know, maybe it's just my brain or what. Like I can't sit down for like that long period of a time and just pump.
yeah,
Naiinip ako. So like I have to do something. And so yun yung naisip ko din parang too many tubes, too many things to do, too many
yeah.
stuff to wash. Yan.
Alam mo, and then remember when we first heard about the I2 Plus sa Imani, we were
Yes.
so, Imani. I may have mispronounced it.
Sorry,
But
Karen.
sorry, Karen. But what do you call this? But yeah, we were so excited. Sabi natin, finally, we were gonna have a pump that we can move around with and do, multitask with. So
Yeah.
that was really awesome. Yeah. So more of that later though. But we're just gonna talk quickly about me time. So this we've talked about doing a podcast since last year. Personally, some moms have asked me if I will do one kasi nga they know that I have a mommy page, ganyan. Um, my introverted self kept delaying it kasi like I'm not really like this, and I don't want to really be out there because I don't feel like, I'm worthy to share my experiences and whatnot, right? But I just believe that kasi yung mga posts natin, right, or mga videos, I don't think it's enough to really reach more moms or to get a lot of message across as far as helping others and like reviews and stuff, right? So that's why we wanted to do this podcast so we can also open more topics, right, for mothers. And then me time, because there is an unspoken culture that when you become a mother, you have to stop everything. Most of the time, like mothers go last, or we have to think about ourselves last. Like, I think my mom, I didn't really see her, doing something for herself. And there's six of us. Parang, 'di ba? So crazy. And back then, hindi
Wow.
uso yung mga babysitters. Hindi uso
Yes.
yung mga yaya. Right? So like, how did she do it? And like, parang to a point that, you just have to do that thing. And that's your calling. That's your ministry, which is great, right? But nowadays, of course, in the modern times, I think it's also good that we acknowledge that postpartum is hard, makes us crazy, right? There are a lot of emotions that come with from being what do you call this? Not a mom to a mom, you know. And also, I think we wanted to reinforce me time and the importance of it without mom guilt.
Yes.
Like, minsan aalis tayo and we feel like, oh my goodness, my baby's gonna be alone. Like, you know, it creeps in, pero like, you know, I really believe and am passionate about having that time for yourself without someone touching you, you know, mommy, mommy, you know, and like not the responsibilities. And I think that's, or even just like talking to a friend, you know, a mom who can relate to. I think that's also important because when you express your feelings, when you're, you know, when you're just talking to somebody who can relate to you, then, you know, that's going to be of a big help.
Yeah, that's true. It helps like just apart from, the other stuff that you need to think about, right? Like it's also good for your physical well-being to release all of that tension and also like just be available for yourself this time around. So like you know
Yeah.
what they say yung sa movie ni Tom Cruise, Jerry Maguire, like you complete me. I honestly don't believe in that. You complete yourself. And so you have to love
Yeah.
yourself enough to have me time, and
Yeah.
that's the purpose of this podcast.
Hmm. Yeah. Great. Excuse me. Great ad, Franny. Yeah, so what can our viewers or moms can expect from this podcast? We have for every episode we're gonna discuss certain topics. Of course, if you want to suggest something, if you have questions, feel free to let us know and then we can discuss them during our podcast. We also have excuse me, a segment on good reads. You know, talk about what we love to do during our me time. And then another is we have a segment called Clogged Ducts, the pains, the pains, the challenges, the issues that we encounter during, you know, breastfeeding, breast pumps, or, you know, just motherhood in general. So that's what we're going to talk about. So that's for me time. Now we're going to go ahead and just talk about our groups.
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier like how we met and how we came about like discovering pumps together, right? And so one of the things that we talked about in the past was really finding just the middle ground, of being a career woman for myself. Like that's my personal advocacy, right? Like finding a balance between being a career woman and also providing for your child. And so I thought like I can't be tied down to a pump with tubes that's stuck in an electrical port for like how many hours per day. I cannot do that. I can't find myself doing that. And so I thought there must be, something that you can wear and still do chores, still take care of your kids, and that's when I started researching about wearable pumps. At that time, that was 2019, going 2020. So that's like really in the middle of the pandemic, right? Um, and there was not much information, especially in the Philippine setting ng wearable pumps. Not much information, not much stores catering to that kind of like pumps. So medyo parang taboo pa siya sa world of moms, right? And so I started looking at YouTube videos and all that, but still not enough information. And
Yeah.
so I you mentioned like having 10 pumps. I think I had around the same amount of pumps because I was trying different pumps at that time. But what really stuck to me was the Yuha Gen 2 at that time. And so that's what started everything. So I started looking at features. Ano ba yung feature na mag-fit sa akin? And then still not much information. And then I said, okay, sige, why don't we just sit down and just do a group? Like create a group for us to share like all of these experiences when it comes to wearable pumps and just open that discussion to the masses, right? Like open that discussion, that discovery of, you don't really actually have to sit down and be tied down to a pump for how many hours per day. And so wearable breast pumps came to life Um, and that was what 2021, right? Still in the middle of the pandemic. And so I didn't really think it would grow that big. So now we're at 16,000 members. Um, and still growing at this point. I love the support that we're getting from different brands like Imani, sorry, Imani, and all of these other local sellers. And so our goal at this point is really just to introduce more variants that other mothers can try and find, what fits them best. And then at the same time, also provide support when it comes to, the knowledge when it comes to breastfeeding. So that's my group. And then Rach is also, I invited Rach to join as well as other moms to help, just provide more information and also drive the advocacy behind providing more information about these things. There, that's
That's
me. That's
great.
Wearable Pumps PH. So if you guys wanna, I have a
Yes.
page too, so you can follow that. But
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I remember you inviting me. Sabi mo sa akin, Frenny, do you wanna like join my group? I need help, moderating, ganyan. Kasi tatlo pa lang kami. It was like, or dalawa. I think it was you and
dalawa.
Jigs, right?
Yes. Hi,
Mm, yes.
Jigs.
Hi, Jigs. And then, sabi ni, sabi ko, I don't know what to do. I can't relate. Like, ang dami ko na mabasa, but, and then you said, oh, just start with the membership questions. So that was funny kasi parang sabi ko, okay, sige. And then when you start reading, what's, the content and inside the group, like, ayun, of course you're gonna learn, right? So I think that is really important. If you're part of a community, like, you're gonna learn a lot. So that's why we have that. Yeah, so going to my page naman, Nipnook. So I am the mommy behind Nipnook, and how it started and why, it honestly it stemmed from my frustrations of looking for an honest review or honest reviews of different pumps. So I was like researching, bakit ang hirap? Like, why is it so difficult to look for a review? Na that's true. That has like pros and cons. Like, why is that hard? So whenever I see a review, like it's always like the good things. But when I buy it, like it's not the same. Bakit ganon, 'di ba? Like it's so unfair and like meron pang isang time na like I was so depressed, parang I don't get the output that I was expecting. I bought Willow. And, bless my husband's heart, he's like, buy whatever you want to make this journey easier for you, right? So I bought it. And you know how expensive it is. So I bought the Willow pump. Sabi kasi ng chismis nila is that if, Willow, you can pump even like nakahiga ka, natutulog ka, or something. So I was sold. Sabi ko, okay, let's do this, and I bought it. It was so expensive. And then, pinipilit ko siya mag-work, but it did not work for me. So I gave it like 2 weeks, and I said like, okay, this is so bad. This is so unfair. And like I wasted time and energy to like use this, but it didn't help me at all. So I said like, okay, I'm sure that there are other moms who are going through the same thing that they're, they buy something and more than the money, it's the time that you invest in like something that doesn't work. So that's like super frustrating. So that's honestly how Nipnook started. I said, okay, so I'll try the review pumps and I promised that I was gonna be like very pro consumer, meaning like I wanted to make sure that when moms see this and when they try it themselves, they're gonna be like, oh, your review is right, it's true. This is what I don't like about it also. So, that's how it started. Um, and and yeah, so I talked to good friends. That was end of 2021. I spoke to you, Frenny, and I also spoke to our good friend Mika. I said, like, are you experiencing the same thing? Do you want to do something and help out other moms? Blah blah blah. And you guys are on the same page, and so we did. We tested a few pumps. We released some reviews. We started with breastfeeding, what do you call this? Parang recommendations like the pillow, the sterilizer, and that's how it started. And then, of course, I also wanted to practice. I have a knack for marketing and like designing and stuff. So I said, why not make it maarte and make it like me, more of like me in the sense that it's my personality and, my reviews are my reviews. So yeah, that's how it started. And now, current update, I've already done like 4 giveaways of breast pumps. Um, 2 of them are sponsored, 2 of them are not. But really, I said like I just want to buy breast pumps, test them out, review them for other moms to like learn about this breast pump. And after that, I'll just give them away, kasi, and not to be cocky and stuff, right? Honestly, I just really wanted to help out other moms. I know that some moms cannot afford it, right? Or maybe it's
Mhm.
not their priority at that time, but they really needed one. And so that's why I, wanted to do the giveaways.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's
and
ano eh,
and
it's really another man's another man's, I don't know, loss. I don't want to say trash because it's not trash, but it should be another person's treasure, right?
yeah,
Especially with you because you don't like you use stuff and you don't really like hindi mo naman siya nilalaspag or something. So it's well
yeah,
taken care of and it's in perfectly good condition. So why not? Out of the
yeah.
goodness and your passion of your heart, right? Like just give it to
Mhm.
somebody who needs it more.
Yeah. So that's how it started and that's how it's going. I really just, I'm just passionate about helping moms. I I experienced that firsthand, 19 years ago when I didn't have like any support at all, no community, um, no like other people to help you, you know, what's a flange, what's this one, So it's really hard. And especially postpartum, like, you go crazy, you get depressed. Ang dami mo nang iniisip, right? So like having someone help you out, and like just like a breast pump to help you with your journey, just to make things easier. And I think that's why we're here, right? So yeah.
And I just want to say, Franny, like you inspire me so much when it comes to that, like that passion that you have on giving back to people. That's
Mm-hmm.
something that I really look up to with you. And I think other people also in the chat are agreeing and are saying the same thing that you're doing so good for the mommy community. So thank you, Nipnock, and for those who want pumps, enjoy it. Those are really truly well taken care of. By the
Yeah,
way, you have a
yeah.
guest. Somebody's here in the chat. Your eldest is on chat.
Yeah, supporting mommy. Yeah.
Hello,
I also
Ice.
just, you know what? You know what? The giveaway started when we got the iBox. So that was my first ever giveaway. And I
Yeah.
said like I asked Karen's permission. I said like, I am definitely gonna review this for you, but like afterwards, can we do a giveaway and help out another mom? So and she said yes, and um that's I just remember iBox. It's like ang daming sumali, ang daming sumali
Mm-mm.
na moms, and that made me so happy. I said like, it's just nice. I have no words, but it's just nice to help out other moms. Yeah.
Agree. Agree. And that's the great thing about with these groups and these pages that we have, we're able to reach more moms as we go through the same journey with them, right? And so I
Mm-hmm.
think and I hope like all of these people who are watching, I hope at one point we were able to help you guys and we were able to inspire you also. Yun lang naman yung goal
Right,
namin,
right.
right? Like to help out and also give
Mm-mm.
back to the community.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Franny. Actually, it's time for our questions. Our viewers have submitted Some questions related to breastfeeding or like breast pumps, right? We're gonna start with number one. What's your opinion on ref hack? So ref hack is, I think, ito yung ano, 'di ba? Pag after mo mag-pump, you're gonna, hindi
You
mo
don't wash it.
hugasan.
Mm-mm.
Hindi mo hugasan yung parts, but you're gonna put it in the ref. I think you seal it with a Ziploc, 'di ba? That's
Yes.
what I did before. Um, so I did that. Have you done that before?
I tried, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're not really a full-time breastfeeding mom if you didn't try that at one point.
Yeah. If you're so tired and delirious and that you didn't think about the germs.
Yes.
So yeah, I did that. I actually siguro mga dalawang beses lang. Not really a lot, but what I'm gonna tell other mommies is of course yung the standards kung ano ba yung dapat for their babies, right? And I always, I do my best to research on that as well. So according to CDC, we always have to wash the breast pump parts. You don't have to always sanitize it, meaning sterilize or like UV steam, all that. But you have to make sure that you wash it, you rinse, you scrub it, you soap it, right? And then you let it air dry. That's for every after use. So the sanitation is up to you. Pero tayo, we bought like different sterilizers, steam, UV, you name it.
Yes, and
We
different
were
brands.
different brands. Like, yung budol talaga pag when you're a mom and like, um, when you're a mom and pag kami mga friends ka na, uy, have you tried this one? It's like great. So
Yeah.
yeah, so what's your opinion on ref hack? So now for me, I think, and it also says there, by the way, that if your baby is premature, less than 2 months, really have to make sure that you wash it after every use. Kasi, you don't know.
Mm.
Um, 'Di ba? Yung germs and all that. So, my tip would be to invest on spare parts if you can. Kasi at night, ang hirap naman talaga maghugas, 'di ba?
Yeah, true.
Ang hirap maghugas.
Yung
So,
half asleep ka pa, 'di ba?
yes, you have asleep ka ba? Alam mo, I did that before. I was like, is this really hard? Bakit ganito?
Yes.
Like, ganito ba talaga magpadede? I can easily buy formula, right? But wala, here we are. We're masochists.
More than being a masochist, and I think it's more of, you wanting the best. Kasi 'di ba parang we've researched so much about breastfeeding, and you always get
Hmm.
to the point where should I stop? Should I just do the easy route and just give them formula? But then at the back of
Yeah.
your mind, you remember all of these things that you've read, like it's gonna be best for your baby, and the
Mm-mm.
probiotics
Yeah.
and all that, right? The what do you call that? The nucleotides, those are what's important in breastfeeding and all that. um for me, I did try that. I did try the ref hack, and almost the same way as you did, because I was so groggy, I was so sleepy. And I did when I know when I was using Wise Mom, because the tubes and all that, parang, oh, f this. I got to the point where I was throwing the tubes away because I was just so pissed, kasi late at night, you do late night pumping, right? And then I just throw it sa
Yeah.
ref.
Yeah.
And then at the back of my mind, I would think, oh, it's okay. The germs are good for the kids. Ganyan. The germs are good, ganyan. But then I also read on CDC, and I got to talk
Oo. Yeah.
to Micah, who is our good friend Micah. And she's a doctor, and so she advised us, like, it's, while it's good, and while it's easy for you, the germs and all that, they're there, and they're not really good kind of germs. And that drove it to the
Yeah.
realization it's not really okay. It's not good to
Mm-mm.
do. So you
Yeah.
have to remember, mommies, there are good germs and there are bad germs. The bad germs, they're in, places
Yeah.
where other stuff are. So like ref and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, buti na lang si hubby naghuhugas ng pumps ko kaya magaan lang. Wow. That's great. Good for you.
Wow. Good job,
So,
husband.
yeah, good job, husband. Yeah. Yes, spare part is key. That's
Agree.
true. Like, or even like when you have to work on site, para hindi ka maghugas sa office. Like, if you can invest on spare parts, go for it.
Mhm.
Kasi like, just wash them all at home.
Mm.
and then sterilize them. And then meron ka na rin for up to, nighttime. So, yeah, that's it.
You know what? Just an
Um,
afterthought, Rennie. Before we jump to the other question, I was so grateful to I used to work in Taskas, and that was my company before when gave birth. And I will always be grateful to Taskas for having like a really good lactation room. So they have everything in
mm,
there. Like it's so relaxed, it's so chill. There's a refrigerator, and then there's a huge sink, and then I could see like moms drying stuff in the sink. It's ang laki. And it's a blessing for us, right? For us moms, especially when we wanna, bring spare parts and all that. Like you just have to dry stuff. And so
mm,
yun, very very important that your employer also supports your breastfeeding goals. So
yeah,
look for employers who will put you as a priority as a breastfeeding mom. Just putting it out there.
yeah, yeah. Great ad, Freddie. Okay, sige. Let's move to number two. How do you deal with a slacker boob?
Yeah, how do you deal with a slacker boob? I have this. Like my
Mm-hmm.
right is like a slacker, and Jigs. And I'm not sure if like is it a common thing for moms to have a slacker boob
Yeah,
for
it
mommies in
is.
the
Mm-hmm.
comment. Oh, it is, you'll see. So it's not just I'm not
Okay.
alone, but at that time I felt like, is there something wrong? Do I have cancer? Ganun na yung ano, yung tumatakbo sa isip ko. So I started researching and started reading. It's very, very important that you research these things that you're going through if you're not getting the right amount of support from from everybody around you, or if not everybody around you is
Mm-hmm.
knowledgeable, right? So I started
Yeah.
reading about having a stacker group and what to do. And there's really no workaround for you to get more milk on that side of your anatomy, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
no way to do that. But it's also important to note you shouldn't stop. Just because you're not getting that much, you should still continue. So treat it as if, it's performing the same way as the other one. So don't
Mm-hmm.
stop pumping on that part. Those are things that I did when I was experiencing that. Don't stop pumping. Treat it as, one and the same. Like they're
Yeah.
twins. Yon. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you stop, that stops producing milk also. And then
Right.
it's going to be
Yeah.
harder for you. And before it stops producing milk, you're gonna go through like a painful period of clogged ducts, mastitis,
Yeah.
infection, and all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, this time around, the easiest way is really the best way. And that is continue pumping both. Don't stop.
Yeah.
Yun lang yung solution ko doon.
Yeah. So if I may add, it also the breast pump that you choose also matters. Because for example, and I'm gonna post this soon. Excuse me, sinipnok. But some of the pumps that have effectively helped the slacker is I'll give options. The I1 Plus, definitely. The hospital grade of Imani, definitely helped out. Kasi meron din siyang booster mode eh. So when you
Yes.
go to the highest level, that's when the booster mode activates. And talagang super effective for clogged ducts or if you have a slacker. Second is the Spectra Compact Dual. That
Oh.
also helps out a lot, or helped out a lot. And then third would be um, yung iBox also, because
Because it's
when you use
hospital grade.
the hospital grade function, yes. And surprisingly, even though it's not hospital grade, Mami Hash is also one of them. So
Oh.
maganda yung hagod ng Mami Hash eh.
So nice.
So yeah.
I never
Mm-hmm.
got to try that. I already stopped breastfeeding. I stopped pumping altogether. And so a lot of these newer stuff that are coming
Mm-hmm.
out, I never got to try I1 Plus and
Mm-hmm.
Mame Hash, and ang gaganda ng mga reviews, and it's also
Yeah.
genuine. And so,
Mhm.
parang naisip ko, should I? Should I?
You you know what? That's actually related to our number three question,
Right? Yeah.
which is relactation. If you want to relactate, Franny, go for it.
I was
But
thinking of that. Thinking of that,
but
really.
yeah, that's question number three. What's advice that you can give to moms who want to relactate. Have you experienced it? I have I've actually experienced it in the sense na I forgot what happened, pero I had to take antibiotics. And when you take antibiotics, you can't really feed the milk, right? So I used my stash. So what I did was syempre hindi ka na nagpa-pump or hindi ka na nagla-latch. So parang naiba yung cycle mo, right? So sobrang humina. For relactation, it can be like a lot of reasons. Yun, taking meds, or for example, you started with formula and eventually you changed your mind. You wanted to go back to breastfeeding. Um, and I think that anything that you really want to do or you set um, your mind and heart in doing, I'm sure you can do it. But just know that it's really hard, I would think, to relactate. Kasi yung buga nahihirapan na tayo eh, di ba? What more if it's relactation or if it's start from zero? So you have to think about gaano nakatagal nung nagka-baby ka, right? And then also, aside from that, like, kasi, sorry, just to add, right, it really depends on the stimulation and the suction. So you have to consistently like pump to make sure that you stimulate the milk ducts in producing milk. And that's gonna take like, I don't know, double or triple effort to do that. But I know that it's possible. Some people have done it. Right? Actually, no nagka parang formula, what do you call it? Recession or no, that's not the term. Parang nagkaroon ng shortage ng formula in the US. A lot of people were saying na, why not relactate, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And and it's so hard kasi kala mo ang dali-dali, right? But it's hard.
Yes,
So but yeah, like what I said, if you want to do it, then it just takes a lot of effort. I think, setting the right expectations that it's gonna be difficult,
agree,
but
agree.
it can be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are also tools available, not just, maybe not as popular in the Philippines, but Medela has this supplemental nursing system which helps moms who have stopped nursing like a
Hmm.
long period of time
Yeah.
get their supply back. I'm not sure how much it is right now in the US, but they do have that. So for those moms who are looking to relactate, you may want to check that out. My wish is that
Hmm.
someday any one of these local suppliers will come across or will come up with something similar to what
Yeah.
Medela is doing to help moms relactate apart from the
Yeah.
natural methods.
Yeah. Yep. Good ad. Okay, number four, how often should I be replacing my pump parts?
This is a very common question in the group. Like, oh, my
Mm.
pump isn't working as
Yeah.
well as before, but the motor is okay. I can see that there's nothing wrong with the pump. It still sounds okay. It's still clean and all that. What's wrong?
Yeah.
Why doesn't it perform as good as it did before? And the answer is always check your pump parts. The recommended amount of time for you to use, especially if you're using it often, is 3 months. At least 3 months.
Hmm.
Check your pump parts, check the valves if naka-open na. Very, very important that you're maintaining or like you're taking
Hmm.
note of how long has it been with you. You cannot, in the spirit of pagtitipid, you cannot do that. You cannot, you cannot save money for yourself for those pump parts because those are
Hmm.
essential in your entire journey. And so look into your pump parts. Pagdating ng 3 months, you gotta check if it's still in the in the condition that you bought it in. If you want to extend a little bit, it's up to you. But the recommended really stick to 3 months. Tapos palitan na.
Hmm.
Kahit mukha pa siyang okay, kahit wala pa siyang tear, because
Yeah.
it also affects yung performance ng pump. There. Anything you want to
Yeah.
add,
I
Dom?
just Yeah, yeah. Actually, kasi before we used to have like a main pump and a secondary pump, right? So it depends if it's your main pump. I would suggest like 3 months. Some would even say na parang ito namang valve mukha namang okay pa. So wag mo na isipin yun, like palitan mo na lahat. Kasi it's really hard to isolate what's causing the low performance.
Yeah.
So if I were you, just replace everything.
Yes.
Pero pag if it's like your secondary pump, you just use it like when you travel, for example, yung wearables, ganyan. I don't think you have to replace it that often.
Mm-hmm.
So kahit I think 6 months, pwede pa siya. But again, if you notice like bumaba na yung output mo and something, wala namang ibang factors, then that should be sign when you have to replace it.
That's a really great
Uh,
point. Yeah, especially for those who
yeah,
have secondary pumps. Because we
yeah,
had that, like we have pumps that we use for travel. I
yeah.
personally love.
Arte, no?
Oo. No, but I personally love Imani when traveling kasi parang you don't,
Mm-mm.
wala ka nang hahanapin. Like, it's really worth the
Yeah.
investment. And even if, kunwari kasi when we're traveling, so I bring my youngest along and then he feeds on, he feeds on demand. So, hindi ko na nagagamit yung pump wala. Pero
Yeah.
bit-bit ko siya, just added security, right?
Mm-mm.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, if you're not using it as often, you're right, 6 months. But like if you're and for the majority of you guys here who may have only just one pump, then the recommended is 3 months. Also, I just want to make a point when it comes to the pump parts, it affects your motors also. If you don't replace it, like kunwari you felt like humina yung performance and you still kept using it, it affects the motor kasi
Mm-hmm.
nagdo-double effort yung motor sa pagpe-perform, but it's not, the pressure isn't there. Because
Yeah.
there are the parts are replaceable. And when we say
Mm-mm.
replaceable, take note, these are the silicone parts. Um,
Yeah.
So yun nasa loob nung ano, not necessarily the cups. Unless may break yung cup, then you're okay. But like the
Yeah.
silicone parts, you have to replace them every 3 to 6 months.
Great, great.
Okay.
All right. Our last two questions. What is the best time to pump before latch kay baby or after niya mag-latch? So my answer, I always pump after mag-latch ni baby. Kasi you want to make sure that he got most of it, 'di ba? Kasi I've already experienced na especially when I was building stash, my stash, I tried pumping first and then saka siya. But what ended up happening was lagi siyang umiiyak kasi hindi pala enough.
Mhm.
So, or naubos na, ganyan. And especially, I am team enougher. So, like, ano lang siya, sakto lang talaga siya. So, I guess if you're an oversupplier, it wouldn't hurt, right? But for me, and if you're still building your output, I would say like prioritize your baby. Latch first before you pump.
Agree, agree. Very, very important we do that. Especially, I think it's an Asian thing. Very, very common for Asians to be enough. So yun, feed your baby first. Make sure that busog na siya before you pump. Yun yung
Mm,
parang pang
yeah.
ano lang, pang simot, right? But there's also another method. Like if there are types of moms who like feed only on one side and then just leave the other side to
Mm-hmm.
express. That's also okay. You can do that in tandem, no. Pero I would agree with what Rach said because I also went through the same thing, and it's the same thing that I did.
Mm-hmm. Great, great. And then our last question. Recently, I've been experiencing clogged ducts. How do I avoid it? Feed on demand and only latch naman si baby, so I pump when there is only time. I've had several clogged ducts. Have you?
Me too. Yeah, I bought all
Yeah.
different gadgets. Like I bought like what do you call that? Yung parang ano,
Massager.
yung massager. I bought like three different kinds of massagers. Yung may heater, 'di ba? Pero parang it's just not, it's just not working.
Yeah.
So the way that I went through that entire phase of having like continuous clogged ducts, I did Magic 8. Like I have a very strict regimen of pumping.
Mm-hmm.
So every three
Mm-hmm.
hours I would pump. Para it signals your body to on these periods it expresses
Mm-mm.
milk, and it also helps no with with the supply and growing your supply. So
Sorry,
that's one of the
Franny.
things. Yeah.
Jargon yata yung Magic 8 for some.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Magic 8 is like a schedule of pumping. So
Mm-hmm.
there's more we could talk. I think this is a good topic for the next. for the next podcast. We could do that, but in essence, it's like a strict regimen of pumping where you pump like 8 times in a 24-hour period. So there's a
That's
morning
on top of
pumping.
latch, right?
Yes, that's on top of latching. So even if you've already latched, what Rach said earlier, even if you've
Mm-hmm.
already latched, tapos dumating yung schedule mo for pumping, you still pump. Kahit 0.5 ounce lang yung nakukuha mo dyan, you still pump. Because it signals your body to, number one, either produce more or continue producing so that it doesn't stop. So it's a very good technique for you to practice, especially for those that are looking to increase their supply or also stock. Kunwari mga working moms like me, right? Like you need to stock milk
Mm-hmm.
and all that. So we'll talk about that
Yeah.
in at length in the next episode. That's a really great topic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's one of the things that I did. Another thing
Mm-hmm.
is really look for those parang they're cheap like heating pads, and I heard this from Emily. Emily is one of our moderators in the group. Like the cheap heating pads, yung parang i-break mo, tapos magsa-scatter siya. It's like just this big. Um, it's
Uy,
so,
sa Milk Easy yun, di ba? Milk Easy ba yun?
is it? No, it's
Yung
just cheap.
small.
Oh, not Milk Easy. It
Hindi,
wasn't
may
even the
ganun
kind I
din
had.
yung, parang may ganun din yung Milk Easy before that I
Oo.
bought. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Milk
sorry.
Easy is also a good brand for you guys to try. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's something like that. Tapos parang it's so cheap. So you could bring it anywhere. And it's okay for you to like have five of them at the same time. But it helps. So when you're
Mm-hmm.
pumping, you put that over your the area that has clogged ducts. And it helps
Mm-hmm.
express it. Um Lactation massages. I've never tried that. Maybe you can share your thoughts, but that's also one of the things that helps when it comes to clogged ducts. Franny, do you want to share your experience there?
Yeah. Actually for me, grabe yun, ang sakit niya. Ang sakit niya talaga. But like, I thought that was like the end of my journey. Sabi ko parang I don't wanna experience this again. Bakit ganun? Nag-e-effort ka. Tapos, like, you experience that. So, and it also, it happens when I think when your baby starts solids. Kasi
Mm.
bumababa na yung
Yung
pag-latch nila ng
demand.
milk, right? Or yung demand nila to drink milk, right? So for me, actually, before I discovered lactation massages, and it worked like magic. My goodness. Sabi ko, tapos, kasi nilalagnat na ako, and then I couldn't move. Like, the slightest touch is so painful.
That's
Like,
like one step
super.
away from mastitis.
Yes, yes, exactly. Kasi yung mastitis, parang alam ko, you really have to take meds na for that eh. Pero like when it's hard as rock and it's so painful, tapos the slightest touch is like really annoying and painful. That's it. And then I discovered lactation massages. So I did that. It's kind of awkward at first, but like the relief after, my goodness, like it
It's worth it.
absolutely like worth it, yes. So, when I experienced that, sabi ko, I'm just gonna do this like every 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. Kasi like, after that, talagang nawala, as in like from rock as hard to like soft as pancakes. Sorry for the description. But yeah, that's like immediately after 30 minutes. So it worked well for me, and like that's why I wanted to recommend it. And when someone says clogged ducts sa mga groups, diba, I always say that
Mhm.
because it definitely helped me. Although that's different from mastitis. Kasi I think from mastitis you really have meds na, and
Yes.
really have to go to the doctor to get it checked, right?
Yeah, kasi may
But
fever na yan nakasama.
yeah. Yeah. So how do I avoid it? Is you just need to make sure that you pump on a schedule there, and then shucks, I forgot my train of thought. Um but but yeah, you just maintain a schedule, and then also be aware of your output as well. Kasi pag napapansin mo bumababa na siya, just you have to up your game as far as pumping. And then also I got a question in the page on the page, sabi sa akin, pinakita niya sa akin yung picture ng output niya na meron talagang like clogged milk ducts na lumabas kasama ng milk. And she asked me, is it safe to drink it, for the baby to drink it? Sa akin naman, like, if you pumped it directly to the bottle or like, kung hindi naman siya na-transfer elsewhere or malinis naman siya, I don't, you can remove it. Sabi niya kasi may blood and stuff. Sabi ko, if you're conscious or you're worried about it, discard it. But I also have a post about if ever there's blood, it's safe to drink it.
Yes, that's true. That's true. It's still safe. It's not, wag kayong matakot just because it's pink. Because I also experienced that. It's just like ruptured, like, ano tawag doon? Ducts. But it shouldn't
Yeah.
be harmful, no? So you continue.
Mhm.
And then, yon, very, very important when it comes to clogged ducts, especially when it's already like, it's so, so painful. It's going to be, bad for you if you just leave it like that. Like Rach said,
Yeah.
it's so hard to go through that, but you need to express. You really need to express. There's no other way out of that. Because if you stop, then your supply also drops, and then you're gonna have a hard time recovering also, no. So yon, keep that in mind and don't be afraid. Pain is just it's temporary, but the relief after that, it's going to be so worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are all our questions that we have right now. And it's already 10. My goodness, friend. You didn't even realize that we've been
Yeah.
talking for an hour. So ganito lang kami mag-rant ni Marie, like dire-diretso.
Yes.
Dire-diretso. But like but yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And those are all our questions. There are other questions that we're not gonna answer right now because of the time. But definitely we're gonna solicit more questions. If you need more help on something or topics that you want us to address, then just let us know. And
Yes.
we shall close.
Yep. All right. So thank you guys for joining. There are a lot of comments in the chat. So thank you guys for participating and letting us know your thoughts. You have a special message from Ice. Uh,
Yeah.
we'll have more. So do you want to talk more about, what we have planned for the future?
No, it's a surprise. It's a surprise.
Mhm.
AKA we don't know yet. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're gonna ask moms what they want to discuss or something if they and we don't know if they like it or not. So,
Yes. Let us know if you like it and if you have. Oh, Jigs is saying more podcasts, please. So we'll plan around
oh,
that.
okay, we have
Um,
one.
we have one. We need more. But yeah, like I think this is one of the best experiences I've had in my life. I'm just gonna mark it there because it gets more people informed about breastfeeding, and that's very, very, very important for us in our advocacy.
Yeah, yeah. I agree, and I'm so grateful. I think like it's better use of our platforms and making sure that we help more moms in their journeys.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so if you are hearing this message and you've listened to the entire episode, for that, we really want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Yes, and we hope you enjoy the new episode, this new episode. And if you did, please leave us a review on Nipnoc. For those who are part of the group, you could also put your comments there. We'd love for you to share this episode for others who will be very interested with the topics that we have. So we're not just going to talk about like pumps and all that. We are also going to talk about motherhood in general. So there's going to be more topics. We're open to hearing more from you guys about what topics you want to discuss. So just let us know.
Yeah, so yeah, like what Marie said, if you have anything in mind, let us know. Get in touch in the comment section or on Nipnook social media networks. So see you again next time, and thank you all for joining us.
See
Bye.
you. Bye.